Hey guys, it's Sea Shark. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a grip almost exactly like this. This is a Magpul MVG vertical grip. Of course, it's low poly. This should be really easy to make for beginners, or for people who've worked with Blender before. But the main reason I'm doing this video is to show you guys how to make something similar to this and teach you guys as in the beginners, people just starting out with using Blender, how to scale or shape things with loop cuts. So, to start out, Control N, that starts a new project. Double tap A, that selects everything in the scene, and press X to delete everything. So, first thing we want to do is go into orthographic mode and write orthographic by pressing 5 and N. Now, we want a reference image. I am going to include this image in a Google Drive in the description. So, once we have that set up, you can change the view. I have it, I usually use all axes, but I'm using right now. Or right for now. So, you want to create a cube by pressing Shift A, and then selecting the cube under Mesh. You want to drag this all the way down to the bottom, and then drag this up to the top, or as close to the top as you can get. You can zoom in to get even closer, of course, but I'm not really going to go that much into detail. So, to start out with shaping it, we're going to put loop cuts around here and scale these in just a very slight bit. We're also going to put one there and one more here. From there, you want to add more between those. They're just to show where the edge is. And just get it as close to this. I'm going based off of this side. Over here, you can see it doesn't line up the same. So I'm just going based off of one edge, so it doesn't have like a weird shape. I'm just gonna keep adding loop cuts around here. Oops. Yeah, around here and scaling them until they line up with the edge. It's also scaling it on the x-axis. If you don't know how to scale, you press S, or not the x-axis, the y-axis. So press S and then Y. That'll scale along the y-axis. Once you start scaling in this much, you don't really want to scale in that much. You kind of want to scale in that much, but you will have that. You don't really have to pay much attention to that. So from here, you can kind of see the shape that this has just from the light shining on it. Kind of goes like that. So I'm going to try and recreate that as much as we can. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to add a loop cut horizontally or vertically. I'm going to put it as close to here as possible. Actually, I'm going to put a loop cut right down the middle, and I'm going to delete this side. And then I'm going to put a modifier on it, a mirror modifier, along the y-axis. And that will just mirror it like that, so we don't have to do this other side as well. I'm also going to turn clipping on and move this over until they line up perfect. I also have to put that right there as well. So from there, I'm going to move this all the way over and get it as close to there as I can. I'm going to move this out until they line up almost exactly with that. or at least it has the shape of that. It doesn't have to line up perfect, but it looks good when it's close. After that, I'm gonna add another one there. Now to give it the shape, or a basic shape, we just select those and scale it on the x-axis. And I'm also going to scale these other ones along there as well, but even more than the other one. So you can tell it's already taking shape. I'm going to scale it in a little bit so it actually doesn't look too big like it shouldn't. Just get a scale you like. If you want to be accurate to the real one, you can get the dimensions and turn the length on for the faces. And then if you select the faces, they will have the length on, or the edges, or yeah, edge. It'll have the length. Or you can do angle, you can do face area, or face angle as well. But that's for if you want to be really precise. You can, like, take the length of here, and it's 2 of whatever the dimension is. You're not here, it's here. You can do feet, you can do inches, you can use imperial or metric. That is up to you. I'm going to turn that off though. So after that, there is a, alright, that doesn't look too good. If you have something like that, you might want to move the vertice over a little bit so it actually looks round or edged off and not bent in too much. So after that, I'm gonna add, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this, I'm going to extrude it and scale it. So once you do that, oh yeah, E extrudes it, and like before, S scales it. After that, I'm going to simply extrude this up and scale it. So that adds our hole on the bottom. And then these on the top I will do later. Now, if you've ever seen these grips, they usually don't, they're not straight like that, or they don't just go like that. They kind of dent in around here. It's more comfortable when it dents in, and I have this on that one that I showed you guys in the beginning. So I'm basically just scaling these middle ones in, and then taking these that are along here and moving them in as well. Oh, and I messed it up again. You want to scale it instead of moving them. You'll start to see it will take shape. So just keep doing that until you get a shape that you like. It took me quite a bit to take to get the shape on the other one. I'm also going to include this and move it over if I can get it to move over. For some reason it never wanted to when I put it right along the edge on the other one. But from there, I'm going to take these and just grab that and scale it. Deselect that and scale that out. So you have that kind of shape. Now, a really difficult part is getting this shape looking decent. You want it to resemble the shape on the grip as much as possible, but once you have these, it starts to get kind of difficult. It might just be because I had it out so much. But what you can start to see, it has that kind of shape. It doesn't look too good. You don't have to go this much into detail. Usually the player's holding this grip all the time. You can even move this down. You can move this down as well. Just get it looking as close to the actual grip as you can. To save you guys, or myself, time on this video, because I don't like taking up a lot of time on videos, even though I hardly record. Just saves a lot of time to not take up as much time. I'm not going to go into much detail, but once you're done here, this doesn't look too great, but once you're done here, you want to add a cylinder. You don't need to add two. I'm also going to add it under this object so it mirrors over. You want to scale it down. I'm not going to scale it yet, actually, because we need to turn the vertices down to like 8 or 12 or something similar to that. I'm using 8. Oh yeah, clipping is on, so it won't really work. So once you have that there, you can pretty much just disable clipping. We won't need it again. If you hear a cat, ignore it. I can't edit out noise like that. But from there, put a loop cut. Yeah, you can't loop cut on a cylinder. Well, you can, but it's really annoying. I actually think I know a solution to this. So add 2 cylinders, extrude the middle of it, and scale it in, and then extrude it down. And then just add on these, or put loop cuts on here, and then from there, just delete these. Oh wait, delete the faces, not the vertices. Oh. Can't get those faces, I see. Alright, now we need to remove these. And delete, well, no, don't delete those yet. We want to add a loop cut on the outside. And now we can delete these. That is if we can select them. I probably should use a... What am I even doing? Jeez. Oh yeah, to get this circle, press C. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. Alright, once you have that, delete the faces, then go into this edge select, and select the edges. Press. We don't want to select them all at once, actually. You just want to select these two and press F. You don't even need that top edge. This just makes it so there's not a hole. It replaces the edges with a face. You can also get down here, but you can't see it. I'll actually show you what it looks like. You can put an edge there, but you can't really see down there. It's probably a better practice too, but it's the same concept as putting a face here. You just select the two edges, press F. Yeah, don't try and do it from there, it won't really work. Something like that, and then if you select it now, it will have all the faces. So that's pretty much where it would connect to the M-LOK. You can put a hole there. It's probably not very easy with this here. I know it's possible though, but if you want to and you're keeping the low poly, then it's probably better not to use a boolean and learn that. Once I find out how, I will make a video on how to do that. So, when you're done, and I would recommend doing this even before you're done, is saving it and name it. I'll just do a MVG tutorial. Save it. And then you can, when you're done, it should look like this. One thing I didn't show you guys how to do is texture it, which is also really easy. You just go here, add a texture. If I could pan around, I'm having problems with my middle mouse button. I turn the specular intensity down and turn the make it like a gray. The diffuse. I really don't like what this looks like, but it's for the tutorial's sake. It doesn't have to be extremely good. That's kind of better. But yeah. If you followed this whole thing, you should have a end result similar to this. And I forgot to select one or all of those when I did that. That's one thing you want to make sure you're doing is actually selecting everything. I'm gonna bring all this in. Alright, and that will finish this tutorial off. Pretty easy thing to do. Of course, this doesn't look as good as the finished one. That's the finished one. Of course, that doesn't look as good as this. But if you put time into making this part, you can get it to look as, or almost exactly like it. I just seen that I didn't bring this part out. nor did I scale that up more than these outer ones. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright. So once you're done with that, did I say done with that? When you're done with that, just save it. And that is pretty much all you need. If you want to put the holes here, it's not necessary because it's either always attached to the grip, or if it's not, it's probably on the ground. And if it's on the ground, you should use a really low poly version of it, nothing like this, just to optimize your game a little more than it would be without. That is if you are making this for a game anyway. But, yeah, that's all you'll need. If I forgot to say anything, I'll put it in the description. I will have a link to this reference image in the description. It will be in a Google Drive. So, yeah, see you guys next episode. If you like the content, want more content, subscribe, and leave a like. You don't have to subscribe, just leave a like if you liked it. Oh yeah, if you want to bring up this side panel, it's N. I'll leave a list to most of the shortcuts that I used in this in the description as well. There are some parts that I forgot on that side. A lot of parts I forgot to do on that side. But, yeah, see you guys next episode.